All right, well, I'm in the Alaskan wilderness. There's a big old river right there. I'm gonna try and hike down to it and set up camp. One of my least favorite parts about camping growing up was when I'd show up and it was already dark outside. But fortunately, I don't have to worry about that because it's just never gonna get dark outside. So, yeah. I look tough. Looks way farther after I parked. Look at that. That's cool. Little moss. Made it down to the river faster than I thought. My boots have not been waterproofed in a while, so I'm pretty ecstatic to see that I don't have water on my feet yet. I did bring like extra socks and stuff just in case. 'Cause I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. But yeah, it's definitely better. Oh my gosh, that stick scared the crap out of me. That's cutting out probably. All right, I took a stop or a short break so that I could take my raincoat and hoodie off. It's not really that warm out here. It's like 60 tops. But just navigating this sort of like spongy, marshy terrain, if you would even call it that, is kind of tough. So my plan is actually to switch up to this ridge up here and try and stay up high and just use the river as a way to like navigate. That way I'm not so... One, I can kind of get a better vantage point of what's going on, and two, I can hopefully find some ground that's a little sturdier. It'd also be nice to see the big river that I'm going to, so yeah, that's the plan. All right, guys, I made it to this marshy swamp. Check out those mountains over there. Insane. All right, so there's a river right there. It is actually like it like feeds into this river right here, but because of the direction of this big river, it's kind of doing like a whirlpool effect right over here. You can kind of see it. But anyway, I'm starting to wonder if getting to this big river was worth it. I guess we'll find out after I try and fish it. But I don't know if you can see that, but I am wet right about to the mid-thigh. And you might be asking, what were you thinking? Or why did you do that? Or even better, don't you know the first rule is to like not get wet? And I would agree with all those statements. But I came to a point where I had to cross this little river right here, kind of like Delta's back. And it was like either I camped back in that sucky clearing. It was pretty, but there was no fish. And I risked just eating only the little rations that I brought just in case I don't catch anything. Or I decide to cross the river at the most shallow point that I can see. And my plan almost worked. I was like halfway across until it got mid-thigh deep, and then I was just in too far. Had to keep my gun dry and just go for it. But I'm in this nice little clearing now, and I'm planning on hammocking.
I would like to see the sign that says no hammocks.
We've got a whole...
Where's the no hammock sign?
We got a whole list of things.
No, I can see you can't see me.
For sleeping, and I'm gonna do like a little tarp shelter above it, but I'm gonna hurry and get to work on it so that I can get a fire going so I can ideally dry out my clothes. I'm currently fishing this river that is trying to feed into the main river. I've seen a few fish jump around here, and I've tried fishing all along this big river, tried fishing back where those two rivers meet up to come into here, and so far no luck. I've tried several combinations of lures, but right now I'm just using a spinner with a little fly on it that's floating with that. You can see that little bobber out there. Only reason I'm floating it is, one, there's a ton of bugs around here and it seems like that's what they're eating, and two, I can kind of like drag it up and down this river. So yeah, I'm starting to get hungry. Look at that. I'm not really sure if it's a beaver or probably a beaver. Yeah, I don't think I want to eat him. I could. I don't know if that's allowed, but theoretically. Yeah, I don't think I want to eat him though. Just look at these suckers go, hogging up all the fishing. I don't think they're having any luck either. I haven't seen them catch one thing, but who knows? Maybe they're grubbing at the bottom and then just eating up top. Who knows? Someone knows. I don't. I just don't. It seems to me like they're coming up empty-handed. Looks like these guys aren't having any luck either. At least my fire's good. Dog. Look at this. So there's actually two beavers. Little ma and pa. But they'll like slap their tails down to dive, and it sounds like a big old rock being thrown into the water. Scared the crap out of me the first time I heard it, not gonna lie. Looks like he gave up on fishing. Guess that means maybe I should too. Alright, getting started on some dinner. Just gonna be some instant oatmeal. I was hoping to have some protein to go along with it, but after fishing for, I want to say it's been at least 5 hours. Yeah, not even a distinguishable nibble. I tried quite a bit of my tackle box options. By quite a bit, I mean everything that this little starter kit came with, plus the ones I thought to grab at Walmart. So not very much. Didn't even bust out the power bait. So pretty much not even serious about catching fish. But yeah, it's all right. I can live off of oatmeal for a day. And if I have to, I think if I don't catch anything out here, I'll probably stop. There's a lake that's kind of more like Maine land, still technically wilderness, but more Maine. When I get to that, I'll stop and see if I can catch something there. But yeah, really glad that I brought something, because yeah, it sucks when you can't catch anything. Added some more wood on top just to get the flames going, so I can dry off my boots, probably dry off my socks too, but no way am I putting the dogs for free on the internet. So, yeah. I'll probably check my line a few more times and try and fish some more before I go to bed. But yeah, I'll be hitting it soon. It's like 8:30 right now, and looks the same as it has for the last couple hours, and that's just how it's gonna be. I think there's some nice clouds in front of the sun, so I think I'll get some like dark-ish for a little while, hopefully in time for me to fall asleep. But got my hoodie all dried out. I estimate it's probably gonna drop like 10, maybe 20 degrees tonight. It's pretty nice weather, but you know what they say. I'm also gonna put a tarp up on my drawstring line there, kind of like just like a classic tent. I'm just gonna have that hang over so it can kind of keep some of the mosquitoes away. I figure if I line everything with my Deep 40 mosquito spray or whatever, that it'll at least give me a chance. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can see, there's like a million mosquitoes here, and I'm right next to a smoky fire, so yeah, I guess we'll see. All right, well, I made it into my sleeping situation. I will obviously turn at more of an angle in here once I get into my sleeping bag. Good morning. It's 4:30 in the morning. I just couldn't sleep any longer. I was just barely warm enough, like still kind of cold, right around 3 or 4. And just reached the point where I couldn't sleep anymore. But got 6-ish hours of rest, if you want to call it rest. It was really windy last night, and the tarp was pretty loud. I didn't consider that with this setup, but I was grateful for the tarp to kind of keep the wind off and to help ward off the mosquitoes. There's still some in here, but not very many. So overall, it was a success, but I definitely I brought this very warm blanket with me just in case, and left it in the Yukon just kind of as like a contingency. However, I planned on being much closer to my vehicle. So it didn't make any sense to up and go real quick in the middle of the night. So I kind of just had to own my decision to come this far out because I want to be by this river. Turns out the river is overrated. Yeah, one last thing. I guess the beavers also decided that I needed to be up at 4. I could hear them. I also think there might be like a moose or caribou out in the water. Just some like different sounds that I heard in the water. But yeah, I did not care to investigate. I was tired. So yeah. We got a cute little fire. Pretty sweet. Got my oatmeal. Little bit of a view. River over there. Fire is almost dead. Ish. I'll have to put it out after I do dishes with the bowl, but yep. It's really pretty. The sun's rising over there still. It's technically been rising since 4 and it never really went down as far as light goes, but yeah. All right, smothered the fire, got rid of the paracord and stuff, and got all my stuff together. Sorry, mosquito on my face, but yeah, probably don't look as sick as yesterday. I probably just look real tired now, but check out that view. Pretty. That might be the most beautiful thing I've seen all day. Look at that bad boy. I went to the marsh instead of the river, and my feet got soaked in water and mud because the marsh sunk down just enough to go above my boots, and then I had to cross a little river anyway. So I'm soaked from the knee down, and my feet are definitely soaked. So I'm very relieved to be back at the Yukon. All right, I'm back in my apartment, sitting on the floor because I don't really have like chairs here yet. That's not true. I got a kitchen table, refinished the top, and I got chairs for that. But the kitchen table top is still curing, so that's why I'm meeting in my previous dinner spot with my cooler as a little table. Why I did this video, I just realized I didn't do an outro, but it was about 5 hours back, which was really solid considering it took me 6 hours to get up there. So just the time of day, construction was a lot better, there's a lot less construction, and there was nobody going 15 miles an hour on the gravel roads out there in the wilderness. So but yeah, if you like this style of video, if you like these vlogs, let me know, because they are a lot of work. So yeah, thanks for watching.